Congressman Backus. Well, it's a sad reason to be in Washington, and this is a sorry subject to be discussing. It's a sad thing when the attorneys general from across the country have to step into the breach to do for the American people what their Congress has failed to do for them. But that's what brings us together today. I'm proud that Congressman Spencer Backus is a friend of mine. He has been an unequivocal force, an unequivocal voice against what has been happening in the People's House in Congress. I said it when the Cornhusker kickback was proposed. We simply cannot stand down and watch as the rules are shredded and the Constitution is trampled. And yet that is what not only happened then, but that is what has been compounded in the days since. It was stunning to watch as the chairman of the Rules Committee stood on national television and said, "There are no rules. We're going to do whatever we want to do." He's wrong. There are rules. Since I've been the Attorney General, it's been my privilege to stand up and defend a lot of victims. But I have to say, these are the oldest victims I've ever been called on to defend. They are the Founding Fathers, the people who wrote the founding documents of this country, and they have been hurt in the debate and the lack of debate that has occurred in Washington, D.C. To me, this sums up why people are fed up with Washington, D.C. and its lobbyists. They have watched as the Constitution has been shredded. Wrong is still wrong, and right is still right. And you don't ever do right by doing wrong. So I'm proud to announce that I, along with a dozen of a bipartisan group of attorneys generals across the country, have stepped in to do what Congress and the Senate did not do. And that is to defend the Constitution and to assert our rights. We're fortunate, Congressman, we come from a state where that's old hat to us. We come from a state where it's written into our state's very motto, we dare defend our rights. And you can count on it. We are going to defend our rights and the rights of every American citizen to have a process that's open and pure, not a process that's been polluted by political backroom deals. It's a shameful state of affairs when you can't look your children in the eye and be proud of what their government has done. But that's the day that we find ourselves. So there'll be a lawsuit commenced, or it's already been filed, by 13 attorneys generals from across the country. We will remind the Congress, we will remind the federal government that they are not the ultimate source of authority in this country. The Constitution says so, not me. The 10th Amendment says that we have a government of limited powers, and that all of the powers that haven't been given to Congress have been given to the people of this country. And it's their rights that have been trampled in this debate or lack of debate. We will be reminding the Congress that you cannot force people to be taxed when they don't do what Congress wills. These are basic, fundamental, constitutional problems. I'm not here today to take a position on whether we ought to have health care reform in this country or not. I'm here to say if we are going to have it, it must be done in a correct way, and it has not been.